By the end of this video, you'll have the complete blueprint to start options trading, whether you're a beginner or an intermediate or an unprofitable trader trying to become profitable. This is a full course covering everything I've learned over the last 5.5 years and has more value than most programs that are charging thousands of dollars. I'm going to show you exactly how I'd build a profitable options trading account from scratch if I were to start from zero today. From understanding what options are, to my strategy, the platforms I use, the psychology you need to have, and what separates the 1% from the other 99% of unprofitable traders. This video will teach you how to trade options the boring but profitable way. The same approach that took me years to develop and helped me become consistently profitable at just 18 years old. So if you're serious about learning options trading, smash that like button, subscribe, and let's dive straight into it. Disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor. The information provided in this video is for educational, informational purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. Trading options involve risks, includes a potential loss of capital. Any results shared reflect personal experiences and are not guaranteed. Success in trading requires discipline, effort, and proper risk management. Most people on social media make trading look so easy, like you can just press a few buttons and make tens of thousands of dollars, but in reality, profitable trading is extremely boring. There's gonna be days where you stare at your screen for hours and don't take a single trade. That's exactly what separates profitable traders from everybody else. Nobody else will tell you that it actually takes time, patience, and the right system to become profitable. But here's what I can tell you. If you follow the exact system I'm going to teach you in this video, you'll have everything you need to start your journey to profitability the right way. So let's start off with the basics. What exactly is options trading? Options give you the right to buy and sell contracts of stocks at specific prices. Think of it as a bet, where like you can bet on the stock to go up and bet on the stock to go down, but it's extremely leveraged. Every one options contract is technically worth 100 shares, but that's not how they move at all. And they require much less capital than buying stocks directly. Instead of putting $1,000 into Apple and having it make 1% move, you make 10%. You put $1,000 in an options contract, and a 1% move, you can make 30 to 40%. But with higher potential returns becomes higher risks as well. We like to focus on just calls, bullish, and puts, which are bearish for beginners. I don't really do straddles. I could explain them to you guys in this video, but they're just unnecessary for my strategy and I don't use them. I'm simple. I just use the regular options calls and options puts. Now that you understand what options are, let me show you the biggest mistake most beginners make. What happens if you're buying a $100 stock compared to buying the options contract? The options contract, basically so say the options contract is $1, that means it's really costing $100, so you always times it by 100. So if the contract say is 90 cents, and that means that one contract is going to be $90. These contracts are extremely volatile. They move very fast, and the closer the expiration, the faster they move. The farther the expiration, the less volatile they move. This amplifies both gains and losses, but when you're just buying a regular options contract, your risk is limited. You can only lose up to 100%, which is very hard to lose that much since we're doing risk to reward and stop losses and risk management. But you can make infinite. I mean, you can make 10,000%, but you can only lose 100% max. So that's why risk to reward is really good if you trade them the right way. But most people don't. So there's Greek. So these are the ways the options move. So you may say, PB, okay, so how do I know how much an option is going to move based off the stock price? So there's two really important Greeks. There's delta and there's theta. The other ones I kind of ignore. Delta basically means that every dollar the stock moves, that's how much your options contract is going to move. So let's move to the whiteboard really quick. Let's say your stock equals $200. Let's say the option equals $1. Let's say the delta equals 0.30. So then if the stock goes to 201, the option will go to 1.3 because the delta is 30 cents. So every $1 equals, you add the delta. That's how you know how much the stock is going to move and if your contracts are good. So when you're reading it, delta, what's delta? Oh, if the delta is 50 cents, that means that every $1 move in the stock, that's how much my delta will pay for my options contract. So then if it goes to 202, what's your contract going to be at? 1.6. And just so you get a kind of a mind to how your options contracts are moving and stuff like that. Theta is time decay. So this really only matters if you're swing trading. And when you're swing trading, theta basically tells you that no matter what in the morning, like this is how much your contracts are going to lose in value. Time decay, your options will lose this much value throughout the day. This really affects it overnight. With options contracts, when I'm day trading, I like to look at the same week expiration. So when day trading, look at same week expiration. I'm trying to get it as much volatile as I can get. I'm not trading 0 DTE expiration because that's too volatile and it will stop me out too fast. So usually I like to do that Friday. So if it's a Monday, I'll do Friday expiration. Tuesday, I do Friday expiration. If you're very confused right now, it's okay, because I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. For swings, I like to do 2 to 3 week out expiration. There's 3 beginner mistakes that basically everyone makes, and it's number 1, they're trying every indicator, every strategy. They don't have reasoning behind their trade. And for me, like for example, guys, I look for the same thing every single day, and if I don't find that strategy, if I don't find that system, then I don't take the trade. And I've been doing that every single day for over the last 3 years. So stop trying to jump from indicator to indicator, from strategy to strategy, because I promise you it won't work. Complexity leads to confusion and losses, guys. Simplify it. Less is more, and I go over that so much, and that's where my edge is. Like, I simplify the market, and I think that's why I've blown up and why people have had and resonated with my teaching styles, because I simplify everything. And now, guys, the breakthrough is, again, simplify to one strategy that I'm going to show you guys in this video. What I mean by less is more. Less is more is like my boring, profitable approach. And you may say, okay, but what is that? It's basically like, okay, guys, I might only take 1 trade in a day and stop trading. I might take 0 trades in a day and stop trading. I might only look for one thing in the stock. I might not take any trades. I might sit there and stare at the screens for hours and hours and hours and just watch price action. Why? Because less is more. So today I'm going to give an example. Today I took a small loss. I'm 100% transparent. I lost money today. You're going to lose money trading. You're going to win money as well. It's all about keeping your losses small and your winners big. So I took 1 small losing trade today, and I was red. Most people in there rather try and make their money back right away, but me, no. I stopped trading for the rest of the day. There was 2 other trades that I liked both times. I even said to Discord, like, I like these trades, and I'm not going to take them because I already took a losing trade today. When I take 1 losing trade, I don't like taking another losing trade. And what happened? Both of those trades would have ended up being losers. And that's because I know myself. I know that less is more, and when I take more than like 1 trade, it's usually not going to be a good one, especially if I took a loss already. Quality over quantity. There's people that are scalp traders and they try and take a million different trades, but that doesn't work, because what ends up happening is a million small wins, then 1 big loss, and you're wiped out, and it's just a never-ending cycle of taking 1 step forward and 2 steps backwards. Quality over quantity will always win. You want to focus on A+ setups only. You want to wait for the trades to scream at you. You don't want to take stupid trades, only A+ trades. I miss about like 70 to 80% of the trades that I'm watching. It's because I'm an extremely patient trader. I'm very patient. If I don't get the A+ entry that I want, then I do not take the trade. But this changed everything for me, because when I started getting better entries and I started being more pickier with my trades, it highered my risk to reward, it highered my win rate, and it stopped me from taking little BS trades and only the best of the best trades. Now let's go over my strategy, the VWOP, which is my favorite indicator, and how I read price action every single day to know when to buy and when to sell stocks and options. Obviously, there's a couple different brokers you can use. You can use Thinkorswim, you can use Webull, you can use E-Trade. Those are all good ones. I only use Thinkorswim because I'm so used to it, but I'm gonna log in, I'm gonna share my screen and show you guys how I look at options every single day. So say I'm looking, I'll go over the trade I took today. Today I was watching Google, okay, and I lost in this trade. Google was at 181.23. So I go to the options, I go to this Friday's expiration, July 18th, as you guys can see my screen recording, and then I scroll down to the 182.50s. The closest ones are usually the ones I take. They're $1.80, meaning 1 contract is $184. So it's as simple as that. I go to the broker, I go to the options, I go to that same week from day trading it, buying and selling the same day, and then I click the closest out the money one. So stocks at 181.50, 182.50s for calls, and if I were to do puts, it would have been 141.40. The puts were on the right side, which puts is you're betting it's going to go down. The calls are on the left side, which calls you're betting it's going to go up. And then this is my strike price, and yeah, that's it. If you want to buy it, you usually want to do I like to do limit. You could do market as well, day, and then buy. I personally like to use a cash account, but you could use a margin account as well. If you have under $25,000, I'd recommend using a cash account. Personally, for me, I'm on a margin account, but I'm guessing most of you guys are going to be under $25,000 trading with. So I'd recommend using a cash account. The difference is a cash account, you could do unlimited day trades, but your money settles the next day. With a margin account, you could do unlimited day trades, but your money settles right away. And that's the difference. For as far as your options level, you should probably apply for level 2. Now let me show you guys my trading view settings. So, and this is my trading view. These are the stocks that I watch every day. Sometimes I watch more if, you know, I see something popping. These are my settings. I'm gonna go over my whole trading view settings. This is my body, my status line, my scale and lines, my canvas, events, and then for VWOP, what I do is these are my whole VWOP settings, okay? I go to VWOP, I click VWOP, and you see how it has all these lines. Double click it up here, okay? Double click it up here. You go to style, take this off, you take this off, and you take this off. You make this yellow, and that's it for VWOP. And then for the EMA, what you're gonna do is EMA, and it's already on the 9 EMA, but say you want to use the 8 EMA, which is basically the same thing. I guess it's not gonna change much. You go 8, okay, look, see, it barely changed anything. And those are the indicators that I use. If you want to add lines, you just add lines like this. And then I make my pre-market this shade right here, so this is my pre-market data. And then I make my extended hours this color right here, so I can see overnight gaps and stuff like that. And I always keep my pre-market on. Clean, simple, that's how I like it. This is where I shine. These are the only indicators that I use. And you may ask, like, PB, how do you find liquid options? Again, these stocks all have liquid options. As long as, like, some stocks, you can find those contracts that I showed you guys, but they're going to be extremely expensive. I usually don't like to buy contracts that are more than $2 to $3. The sweet spot is like $1 to $1.50. So again, I just go to the closest week for day trading, and then I click the closest out the money strike. Now I want to show you guys my strategy. I want to show you guys how I know when to buy, how I know when to sell, and show you guys some live execution. So the VWOP foundation. First off, let's go over this indicator VWOP. VWOP is the volume weighted average price. It's the most important line in your chart, and the way institutions use it is it's basically the average trading price of the day. So it puts all the orders together and it says the average trading price. What happens with the VWOP is when you have that average price, it's a psychology. It's just a huge level, because think about it. What happens when somebody goes from green to red in a position, or they go from up a lot to even on a position? This is telling us the average trading price of the day. There's usually big moves, but when somebody's green in a position, like to let it ride, they're happy, they get greedy, they hold. So when a stock is above VWOP, we only look for longs, and when stock is under VWOP, we only look for puts. We never buy puts over VWOP, we never buy calls under VWOP. It's like a bus stop. The pre-market levels are the most important part of our whole strategy. Pre-market levels are from 4 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. It's basically boundaries that the institution set. That's like the chop boundaries. So if we stay in between the pre-market high and the pre-market low, then we're most likely going to chop. But if we get a 5-minute close above the pre-market high, that's my notification that, oh, we could have a big trend to the upside, and that's telling me that the trend is up. If we have a 5-minute close under the pre-market low, that's telling me that the trend is down. Once you get that 5-minute close above the pre-market high, that's telling me the trend is up, and that I'm only looking for calls on retests of the pre-market high or VWOP or key levels. But again, it's like, think about it as a bus coming straight at you. Would you rather go and stand in front of the bus and hope it stops, or would you rather go to the bus stop, wait for the bus to stop, hop on the bus? I'd rather just wait at the bus stop. I'm not risking my life and risking my trade hoping something's gonna reverse and stop. Same thing with my trading. So let me show you guys an example of the pre-market high and the pre-market low. So we mark our pre-market high, mark our pre-market low. What happens? We get a 5-minute close above pre-market high. Now what are we looking for? The second we get a 5-minute close above the pre-market high, we're looking for us to come down and retest pre-market high. And until VWOP gets above the pre-market high, that's the only time we're gonna wait for it to come down and tap VWOP. So again, we're looking for a pre-market high retest. So what happens? We get the 5-minute close above pre-market high, then we get a pre-market high retest right here. This is our entry for longs on this pre-market high retest, and that is where I'm entering. I'm entering calls off the pre-market high retest. We get the 5-minute candle close right here, indicating to me looking for a retest, and we rip. But it's no worries, because if you miss that play, it doesn't matter, because what happens? Once VWOP gets above the pre-market high, you're looking for VWOP retests. What happens? We come down, we tap VWOP. This is where your second entry is, and then we go back up high a day and you're selling at high of day. Easy like that. So again, like it's simple. I'm showing you guys exactly what it is. You wait for the 5-minute close above, you get that retest, you enter calls, and you ride it up. So another example, coin, we get the pre-market high here, we get a 5-minute close above the pre-market high, and we get our retest, and then what happens? We rip, and we hold the EMA the whole time until right here. So look, you're taking trims the whole way. You're taking trims, taking trims, selling, selling, selling. But until we break under this red line, this is why I have the EMA in my chart. Until we break under this EMA, I'm holding my position. That is my strategy for my runners. I like to hold as long as it holds above the EMA. And if you don't even have it, you can even sell and take some ads off the EMA. But again, I use it for exiting. So as long as it holds above the EMA, that's my tell that I can stay into the trade. And looking for the strongest stocks here, which we know from what's up the most and down the most. So again, isn't it crazy how you're chopping, then you get above the pre-market high and huge risk. Same thing here. Get above the pre-market high, we know it's going to be a trend day to the upside. I'm going to go over some more examples. I'm going to go over some more live trades. I want to go over why 97% of traders lose money. There's only one difference between trading and gambling, and that's risk management and calculated risk. Over 90% of traders lose money. Really, it's like 97, 99%. They let emotions decide their entries and exits. They don't have a proper calculated risk, and they're risking too much per trade, which is going to kill your account. You also probably have no system and no rules. But again, trading is gambling if you don't have proper risk management, proper calculated risk, and if you don't know how to cut your losses. Trading is a game of you versus you every single day. The way you become a better version of yourself is simply by staying disciplined. You can't go into the casino and say, okay, I'm gonna play a blackjack hand, but if I win a blackjack hand, if I lose a blackjack hand, I'm gonna lose $20, and if I win a blackjack hand, I'm gonna win $60. I have a 70% win rate of winning. No, you can't do that. It's 50-50, and if you win one. If you lose one. It's really not 50-50, it's actually a little less. But that shows you guys in trading you could. Like, I know for me, I could have a 70% win rate, and when I lose, I could lose $1,000, and when I win, I can win $3,000, or for example. But that is why calculated risk is so important, and risk management is the center. It's like the heart of your trading success. So the right way to do options risk management is you never want to risk more than 2% of your account per trade. You want to have a minimum of 1 to 2 risk to reward per trade, meaning if you're risking 10 to 15% on a trade, you need to make at least 20 to 30% on the trade. You want a position size. The way I like to do is if you have a small account, you can put about 10% of your account into each trade, risking 1 to 2% of your account per each trade, and with the goal of making 3 to 5% of your account in each trade. I've earned $1,000 over $25,000. I didn't have any big wins. I didn't have any 10-15% days. I literally did this just by adding up base hits, taking small losses, taking bigger wins, and having these same exact rule, risking 1 to 2%, goal to make 3 to 5%. As simple as that. And with your options, you don't want to hold them too long as well when you're day trading. So enter into each trade with a plan. Say, I want this trade to happen within 10, 15, 20 minutes, and if it doesn't, and if it gets under my level, then I am going to stop out. With options, I have a specific stop loss strategy that I'm going to show you guys right here. It actually happened to me today. So look, Google got a 5-minute close above pre-market high. Then it came down and retested VWOP in the pre-market high. I took calls, and what happened? We got a 5-minute close under the pre-market low. So do you guys see how right here we closed the candle under the pre-market low? That's my stop loss, and that was my time to get out. So for example, we have boom, calls. We had a 5-minute close above. This is telling me to look for calls, right? Sorry, I'm very slow at doing this. For calls. So what happens? You want it to come down and tap. So come down, it taps it, I enter calls. What happens? It kept getting lower, it closed under, and no worries, I get out. I take the small loss, take a very small loss, and that's it. So that's my risk management. If we get a 5-minute close under, I get out. You can have a different one, but again, just make sure with however your risk management is, you have at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward, and you stay very strict with it. Now guys, I want to show you guys some success stories before I go into more examples and more lessons about trading. Check out Girl. She made $101,000 in 3 months and paid off her whole mortgage. Crazy part is she started with $2,000. Check out Clay. He made $28,248 in 1 week, all from our teachings. Check out Brian Jolly. He doubled his account in February and had a 17.5% P&L in 1 day. I think this was his first month with us, actually. Pretty crazy. Check out Quit. After less than a year in her program, she quit her whole job. She became a full-time trader, making $10,000 a month, and bought in her 2-week resignation. We truly changed lives. Check out Fernando. Profitable after 7 months with us. 7 months. He previously was on a 4-year losing streak, just losing and losing and losing and losing. Even said said, these 7 months taught me more than the first 4 years of trading. And the truth is that trading psychology is very, very important. And there's fundamentals that you need to understand with it. And guys, these aren't get rich quick stories. These are real people that put in the work and got results because they deserved it. I'm not saying you're going to join and you're going to get rich, but I'm saying if you join New Age, you could be like them. If you put in the work, you could change your life with this trading stuff. Whether you join or not, I don't care, but just so you guys know, you can change your life with this trading stuff. You really could. Look at me. Just a reminder that trading is 80% psychology. Again, it's you versus you every single day, and it's what happens when you're the least motivated and when you're the least ready to be disciplined that is gonna determine whether you're a profitable trader or not, because motivation's BS. It's really just discipline. And it's like, how disciplined can you be when you fail over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, when you lose over and again, when you don't want to end the day red, when you just want to have one green trade, when you just want to full port your whole account, when you want to go heavy into a trade? How disciplined can you be when you want to enter a trade so bad but there's no setup there? Or when you see a good trade where you already took a loss of the day, you hit your max loss. For me, I had a problem with FOMO. I had bad FOMO. And what did I do? I stopped. I stayed disciplined. I treat trading like a business. I cut out my flaws and I stick to what I'm good at. And I saw a flaw was FOMO. So what happened? I became patient. I forced it because I knew I had to make this shit work. And to make it work, I had to cut out those things that I was bad at. And again, the boring trader wins. And I'm going to say this over and over and over again. Profitable trading is boring, and that's the truth. Patience is better than excitement. Systems are better than emotions, and profits and consistency is better than base and big runs. Because what happens is when you add up those base hits, you'll put yourself in position to get those home runs. But the base hits and adding them up, that is where your money is made. I want to show you guys an example of a trade that I made a lot of money on. HIMS, what happened here? It was very weak pre-market, as we could see. Weak. And then what happened? 5-minute close under pre-market low right here. What's this? The pre-market low retest. This is where we're entering puts. And what are we doing? We're entering puts right here. Stop loss is about a 5-minute close above pre-market low. Target is previous low a day, and then whenever we get above the EMA, so we take some trims, we take trim at previous low a day, and we get out the rest of the position right here. This trade made me over $2,000 just on this trade. Last week I had a day where I made over $13,000, and I don't really like saying these numbers because again, like, I don't want you guys to get in your head like, oh, I want to make $13,000 and now I have this small account, I need to go heavy. But it's just the size that I was at. I started with you guys, I had a $700 account, exactly $750, and now I'm at a point where 10, 13, 15, $20,000 days are normal. But that's because I stick to the system, I stick to the strategy, and I stay extremely disciplined. I'll show you guys that loss again that I took today. It was on Google. Again, I'm going to show you guys the exact trade. I entered calls here on the pre-market high retest, and then I stopped out right away. I entered the 182.50 calls and I got stopped out, and that's okay. I'm not worried about it because it happens. You're not going to win every single time. The best trader is not the one who's best at winning, but it's the one who's best at losing. It's one who can get thrown to the floor over and over and over and over again and still get right back up with zero emotion and still fight the same exact fight. It's the one that can take these losses, that can accept that they're wrong and understand that it's not their fault and that it's going to happen. It's just how you react that's going to determine if you're going to make it. This is also my day trading strategy, guys. I have a swing trading strategy as well that I do have a YouTube video on. If you haven't watched it already, go watch it. Here is another example. I mean, there's so many of them. Look at all these tweets I have of them, guys. Like, look at these. Look at all these tweets. Good. 5-minute close above pre-market low and VWOP retest, rip. AMD, pre-market high and VWOP retest, rip. Isn't it crazy? We get above that pre-market high, we rip. Coin, pre-market high retest, rip. Again, guys, you guys are probably like, PB, what are you saying? There's no way it's that simple. I'm trying to explain to you guys, this is it. You don't have to make it seem so difficult. Really don't, guys. Simplify it, man. Now I want to show you guys something. Today, IWM, we're above pre-market high. What happens? VWOP retest, rip. VWOP retest, rip. VWOP retest, rip. Do you guys think we're bouncing at random levels? Because we're not. We're not bouncing at random levels. VWOP retest, rip. VWOP retest, rip. You guys think it's random that every time we bounce is at VWOP? Because it's not, guys. I'm trying to show you guys. This is what you need to have on your charts. It's not random. Nothing is random in the stock market. Everything has meaning behind it. The stocks move level to level, and the VWOP is helping identify those buy levels. And now look, when we're under the VWOP, what happens? Tap VWOP down, tap VWOP down, tap VWOP down. Again, nothing is random in the stock market, guys. Nothing's random. 5-minute close above pre-market high. What happens? Pre-market high retest, rip. You guys think it's crazy that we bounce exactly at the pre-market high? You think it's random? It's not. It's our system. It's a strategy. And I have so many more videos going more in depth. I know this one didn't go extremely advanced into it, but go watch other videos if you did, because this one was more or less like overall technique, concepts, more or less beginner focused. But you now have the complete foundation to start options trading the right way. But we all know having the knowledge and actually implementing it successfully are two completely different things. So what do? You need structure, you need live experience, and that's why I created New Age Trading, my community where I live trade every single day. So you can see exactly how I implement everything I just taught you, and I can hold your hand throughout the way. When you join New Age Trading, you get access to a complete course with 22 main lessons, weekly quizzes, bonus classes on gap trading, growing small accounts, plus live executions. Plus, I send you all my trades. You trade live together every single day. I hop on a weekly call with the students Monday. I review their trades one by one. I'm actually about to do that right now. I'm a little late. I just texted them like, yo, I'm finishing a YouTube video. Give me a second. I don't really like promoting this stuff, but again, like, I genuinely just want to help as many people as I can help with trading, and I have a gift and I need to use it. We have freaking tens of thousands of people that are just like non-stop applying. But we're only helping people that we think can seriously take it and that can seriously make it, because we take our success rate extremely serious. So if you want to see exactly how I trade live, get my actual entries, exits, and thought process as it happens. We surrounded like traders like Girl who paid off her mortgage, Clay's making $28,000 a week at 20 years old, and Kit who quit her job to trade full-time. This is your chance. If you're serious about becoming a profitable trader, you want to fast track your journey, you want me to mentor you personally, you want to talk to me every single day, live trade with me every single day, watch the blueprint to profitability, the 3-week course that I created, the weekly lesson materials, my personal trading AI, and so much more, check out New Age Trading. Link is in the description. If this video helped you, make sure to subscribe for more free trading education. I post new videos every week breaking down my latest trading and strategies, my trades, my vlogs, what I'm doing in my life, and everything. I genuinely want to help as many people as I possibly can. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!